hadn't. I know you had seen it.
Yeah, I have seen it. But what we need to talk about is Hugh Jackman. Huge Jackman.
Which night are you going to try and get tickets for?
Well, I've got tickets for the Birmingham game.
Have you already got them?
I can't say much, but I have my connections in the ticketing industry.
What is this bullshit?
Yeah, boy, I work in the ticketing world, man. I know all the promoters. I actually do have my hand in many pies. Not only that, potentially. Well, yeah, I shouldn't say anymore. I'll tell you off there.
Okay.
But I honestly cannot wait to see him.
I can't believe it.
When you like sent me the link to the dates, it was literally like 5 hours later. I was like, Chris, man, I've been on this since like I first broke. Honestly, I think I'm more excited than Shona, to be fair. I love that man. I love him.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what songs he does.
But the big thing is, someone made the point, like, he's not going to be on his own. He's got so many friends. He's going to bring some people with him, but who will he bring on tour with him as like a secret guest?
Well, I don't think he will have someone on tour, but I think he'll have different people on every night.
Yeah, I reckon.
Like he'll be like, oh, let's get so and so because they're from London, or so and so from like he must have. And he'll have spent a lot of time filming in the UK as well. Like he'll have British pals.
Everyone just loves him as well.
Can't wait. He's so.
The thing is, we should probably explain for the dear listeners that we're talking about Hugh Jackman and his world tour that he announced last week, and the tickets go on sale this Friday. Get hype! Get hype! What are the perfect Christmas present for your loved one this year? So
Friday,
fun day.
Smash Bros. Yeah. Hugh Jackman. What a combo!
What a Friday that is going to be. I mean, who the thought? It's like one of those games, isn't it? We've got to try and put them all into a sentence. The Game Awards, Smash Bros, and Hugh Jackman. How are they all linked? That'd be great trivia. Anyway, hi everybody. This is Heroes of Handheld. We are a podcast and we talk about handheld gaming and sometimes our undying love for Hugh Jackman and his big pecs. I'm Colin and that's Chris stretching over there in London town. Is that a good stretch you're working on there?
Just warming up, just getting ready for a pod.
Start punching the screen in a minute. Yeah, start punching the mic in front of you. I have to say, there's nothing better than a good stretch. Honestly, stretching is the best feeling ever. Like it's probably better than getting high, I'd imagine, because it's just so darn good. It's so darn fun. And I must say, Chris, what mug is that? What mug have you got? Sipping from the drink. What is?
It's Superheroes.
Ah, very cute, very cute. I should probably say straight away, my apologies that I wasn't here last week, everybody. Good last minute change of direction on the ship here.
Yeah, did you tune in last week? Did you hear the pod?
It was really good. I really liked the bit we spoke about Fallout 76. That was really good.
I guess it did a little bit.
Isn't it funny, this whole Fallout 76 thing? Like, it's just funny. It's like whenever there's a big issue with games and like they're not as promised, like the developers just don't seem to care. Like it's like the EA effect with Battlefront 2, like where they just didn't like to. They weren't like putting their hands up and saying, "Oh, we're idiots." They were just saying, "Oh no, you're the problem. We've done nothing wrong." And it seems like that with Fallout 76 and the whole. What was the issue with? It was with a bag, wasn't it? With this,
there was a you could pre-order a collector's edition, which said it came with a, I think I want to say leather bag. I can't remember what material canvas bag. But then when it was printed, it was like nylon, like cheap kind of plasticky stuff.
Yeah, and it was false advertising.
Yeah, and then Bethesda were like, "Well, we'll give you £5 worth of or $5 of in-game credit, which isn't even enough to buy like the bag in the game." And then now they've said we are going to ship out proper canvas bags, or I can't remember if it was if canvas was the lower or the higher quality thing. But anyway, they said they're going to sort it early next year.
Just amazing.
What a disaster that game has been.
It's a shit show, really. I mean, it was a bit of a surprise when the reviews initially came out for it, and it was just negative across the board. Like they didn't know what it wanted to be. Like it is quite funny watching Let's Plays and watching all the glitches in it and all the bugs. It is actually quite funny. The best one I've seen is when I've never played Fallout, so I don't really know much about the whole world in Fallout. But I know are there zombies or something like mutants of some description?
Yeah, there's mutants because of the nuclear stuff going on.
So So that's what I've seen then. There's a really funny clip of when these mutants are walking towards you. They're not walking, they've just got their arms out like this. They're sort of gliding towards you, like in the, what's her face from Titanic? Who is the actress in that? Kate Winslet. You know when she's in front of the Titanic, she has her arms out and Jack's holding her.
The pose.
They're like gliding towards you like that with no animation on them. It's quite funny. So it's a good thing that I don't enjoy for that, because it's left a bit of a stain on Bethesda, which is a shame, because normally there's bugs in their games. They're quite renowned for them, but the games are normally decent. But yeah, it is a shame.
Actually, speaking of, sorry, Colin, something I forgot to put on our notes. But speaking of Bethesda, did you see that? And this isn't me trying to be seamless, but this is more of a discussion point. Did you see that Elder Scrolls Blades has been pushed back to next year?
I'd actually forgotten about that. So when's that? When about next year? Is it just like
it was meant to come 2018, but now they're saying early 2019 for iOS and Android. So nothing more, nothing bigger than that. But I mean, that's a shame, because I was really looking forward to playing that game, and it just got pushed further and further back. Yeah, it was. I love Elder Scrolls.
No, I love Elder Scrolls. That's the watered down mobile version, isn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, Colin, don't you guys have phones?
oh God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, it's been a bad. Just the past few weeks, the PR for these gaming companies has just been ridiculous. Can I very quickly? I'm going to go straight into some news here, because this has got me excited about a potential new game from our boy Batman. Woo! Can I just say, I actually watched Batman versus Superman yesterday, because I'm trying to watch all the films in the DC universe. I watched Man of Steel. I liked Man of Steel. I saw it was a bit depressing. There wasn't much fun in it, but it was fine. I thought it was quite good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Batman versus Superman. It was a long slog. That is a long film. 2 hours 40 minutes I sat through of that, and I went in not knowing much about it, and I came out not really knowing much about it. Really, it was a strange one. It sort of came and it went, and I don't really know what happened in between. All I'll say is it's a good thing that both their mums had the same name. Otherwise, we would have been in for a bit of a bad time there. Spoiler alert there. But I like Ben Affleck as Batman. Was cool. I thought he was a good Batman. An old, dishevelled, disinterested. Well, not disinterested, but darkened Batman was pretty cool. I didn't think there was enough Batman in it. Really, I wanted more Batman. Too much Superman.
It's a weird film, because it is. I watched it maybe like 2 years after it came out, or a year and a half. At which point, everyone had said, this is the shittest film ever made. This is terrible. Blah blah blah. Blah
it wasn't terrible. It was not terrible.
I don't. I think it's very middle of the It's very middle of the road. But yeah, like watching Ben Affleck as Batman is really cool. Like he's really good at it.
He's good. He's one of the best bits of it. I thought it was great. I mean, I can see a lot of trying to shoehorn in these references to set up the Justice League. So you had like that weird cameo from Flash at one bit. Do you remember that? Where this is a bit of a spoiler if you've not seen. I've already ruined it now. If you've not seen Batman vs Superman, I'm going to spoil something. Sorry. But there's a bit where Batman's in the Batcave looking at a screen, trying to figure out some puzzle with Wonder Woman, and it's the Flash just appears to his left in like the vortex of speed. I don't know much about Flash, but appears like in the vortex of speed, and then tells him something about Lois Lane or something. And he goes, "Oh, sorry, I'm too early. Bye." And it's like, oh, so you've just shoehorn the Flash in just to let us know that
the Flash thing's so weird.
Yeah,
so weird.
But then that bit where there's all the files, all the different members of the Justice League, and the Book of Aquaman. But the people are saying that the initial reviews of Aquaman seem pretty good. Like what people are saying, it seems like it's a lot of fun, which is weird because I think the trailer looks awful.
But it's Jason Momoa, isn't it? It's so nice to watch him just be like, "Wahoo!" and like swimming,
riding a big shark. That's what we want to see, really, as he punches a seahorse. But there you go. So yeah, anyway, Batman. So me and Chris, I think we're a big fan of the Arkham trilogy that was done by our good friends at Rocksteady, where we had Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, and also Arkham Origins as well. So
that's not by Rocksteady.
It's not. That's by Warner Brothers Montreal.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also you have Blackgate as well, which is the PlayStation Vita game, which I think also came to 3DS in the end.
Yeah, it did come to 3DS. You're right.
There you go. So people are thinking that the next game in the Batman series of video games has been teased and is being confirmed by a Warner Brothers worker, and more precisely, a company's assistant producer. So people are thinking that the next game in the series, or I don't know if it's going to be in the same series or it's going to be a revamp or a start from the beginning, I don't know, but they're thinking it's going to be called, or going to be involved, something called the Court of Owls, which I've not heard of, but apparently it's quite a new concept. It only came out in DC Comics New 52, which is not very old at all. And the Court of Owls, for those who don't know, is a secret organization that has its hands in the pockets of Gotham City since its inception. The organization moves in the shadows of the city, but its members are some of the most powerful people ever to walk Gotham's streets. And the reason why people think that this has been confirmed is this assistant producer who works for Warner Brothers Montreal uploaded a picture. So basically saying that they're working on a new game and they're excited about the new game. And there's a picture of her wearing a t-shirt, and on the back of this t-shirt is a big emblem of the Court of Owls. So that's all we've got so far. So people think that's confirmation that that's what they're working on now. I mean, I don't know much about Court of Owls. It sounds pretty cool. Sounds like the underseed, like gangster, undercrime, underbelly of Gotham City. Sounds good to me. I mean, I just want another game in this world, to be honest, because when I first started playing Arkham Knight a couple of years ago, I really couldn't get along with it. And I sort of played it for a bit, left it for about 6 months. And I came back to it, and I really, really got into it. And I really understood what they were doing with it and appreciated how much of a fantastic game it was. And I just remember at one point I was stood at the top of this perch on this massive skyscraper looking out at the city, and to the left I could see the bat symbol up. I could see fires blaring from where Firefly had done his stuff, had the radio going where crimes were happening. I was just like, this is great. This is just Batman, and it's fantastic. So I'm up for this. Hopefully we'll get more information on this and confirmation that it's happening. I don't really care what the story is, as long as there is a Batman game in development. I will buy it, to be honest with you. Doesn't matter if it's Court of Owls or whatever. I wouldn't even mind if it was about the Joker again.
I think as well. Warner Brothers Montreal, who are rumored to be making this Court of Owls and who made Arkham Origins, I think Arkham Origins did get a bad rub because, Origins isn't as good as City, but it is a really good, fun Batman game.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, there was no new ideas in it. They just copied from Rocksteady. They played it safe.
For me, I would argue that it ranks slightly higher than Arkham Knight, personally. So I'm all, and I think, Court of Owls, it's a good story. It's like a new story. So that's the other thing with Arkham Knight is, even though it's a new character, there's a lot of connections to older characters. Well, Court of Owls is kind of its own new thing. So I think that would give them a bit more freedom. I'd be really keen to see this shaped as the game, but the people on that production studio have been tweeting, kind of talking about this is very early. We're working on something redacted. We're not in a space to show anything yet. And also, Rocksteady did a tweet earlier this week that were like, we've got something to talk about, but we're not ready to talk about it yet. It's not Superman, which makes people think maybe it's Justice League or I don't know. I'm surprised we haven't heard anything, because Arkham Knight feels like 100 years ago, even though it was only 3 or 4.
It was, because I have time up on my phone, and I was looking at my tweets today actually from a couple of years ago, and it was 2 years ago I tweeted about Arkham Knight. Gosh. So it's been at least 2 years since I was playing it. So it's been a long time. We need a new game. That's what we want.
Yeah, I think one more to sign off the generation. If Court of Owls signs off this PS4 generation, and then we get the next Arkham game on PS5, I'd be well all about that.
Or Xbox One.
Yeah, I was just saying it for Colin.
Yes.
Pay attention to me, because I want to talk to you about Epic, because Epic are having an absolutely mad week.
Gears of War, woo! Epic Games, woo!
No, I want to talk about the other Epic things, which is Fortnite, because there have been 2 mad Epic announcements this week, and we are told there's going to be more news at the Game Awards, which is on Thursday night over here. I think it starts at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the UK. Maybe Colin can fact check that whilst I discuss this, because Fortnite have said they're going to be there. But they announced today a new mode in Fortnite called Fortnite Creative. And you might be thinking, well, they do new modes all the time. But this is very different because this is Fortnite's first steps into content creation in-game by the players. So you players who buy the Battle Pass in the first week of Season 7 will get access to their own exclusive island where they can design things like maps and rules and all sorts of goings on there. And obviously, this could be absolutely huge because, you know, people are going to design their own modes. And we've seen, like, in games like Call of Duty, for example, people, there have been modes that have been designed by fans that have then been picked up and turned into official game modes. And you can see that very much happening with Fortnite. So you have to be a Battle Pass owner to have access to private island for the first week of Season 7. Obviously, all this is still in, you know, early access, so it might not work and stuff. And then starting December 13th, all players will have access to a private island for free. You can invite people over. You'll be able to tweak things and be creative. And I can't believe it. It's such a good idea. And it's like such a good, logical next step for Fortnite to hand over control to the players. Lots of Fortnite influencers on YouTube have put up videos of what their private islands look like. And it's fascinating. It's so clever. I think it's really, really great. And Epic, not to be outdone by their own announcements, also announced this week their own PC shop, Epic Games Store, which is a digital shop interface, which is going to be on PC and Mac and then on other platforms on Android in 2019. And on this, right, get this, Colin, all developers who sell games through the Epic Games Store earn 88% of the revenue. So only 12% goes to Epic. And if you're using the Unreal Engine, Epic will cover the 5% royalty for sales. So Epic's you still take home 88%. It's mad. It's so mad. And it's so much better than Steam, where the developer takes home 65 or 70% rather than 88. And it's a flat rate as well. It doesn't matter how much your game sells. What this reminds me of, Colin, you know, in Monopoly, when you're doing really, really well and you just buy, you have money to burn. So you're like, I'm going to buy all the houses. Or in Mario Kart, where you're like, I'm going to pick up all the items. I'm going to pick up all the coins because you're so far ahead. I love that Epic are in this position of great wealth and great success and are using it to make a better community, and they're using it to make Fortnite better, and they're using it to make a more fair digital interface for developers.
Yeah. Oh, I can hear myself. Why is that?
Well, that's not my fault. I've got headphones on.
Bye-bye.
Well, cool.
Weird.
I don't care.
I'm gonna have to try and ignore that. Yeah, I think it's just weird how Fortnite has like built its own world and its own community. Well, not just, you know, all games have communities, but it's its own entity now. Like it's like bigger than anything anyone could ever imagine. It feels like it's sort of still the new kid on the block. Really, it's not been around that long, Fortnite, but this is a good idea. I mean, what sort of things can they do? I was looking on this Fortnite Creative, the article, and they're saying about races and stuff like that. Is that something that's common in Fortnite, having races with people? That sounds fun. If you can like build cars and things.
Well, that's the thing. That there are, you know, the Unreal Engine and Fortnite has got these features, but as the seasons have come and went, they've kind of come in and out of fashion. So we had the season where it was all about low gravity. We had the season where it was all about you know, cars and racing and drifting and golf buggies, and, you know, fair play to them, because I think what they're doing with Fortnite is they're kind of turning it into what GTA is for a lot of slightly older people, is that GTA is the platform where you turn it on and you're playing in the background whilst having conversations with your friends, kind of like how MSN Messenger was when we were, you know, you just had MSN on. It was like very passive that you were talking to each other whilst doing things. And now that is, you know, going to be Fortnite, and it's going to, this creative idea is just incredible, because you'll be able to just play just you and your mates, and you'll be able to, you know, completely design the experience you want to have. Is, I think, a really, really solid move from them.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, I'm still not big on the old Fortnite thing. I should probably try and play it again, but yeah, it's good. I mean, adding an extra layer to the Fortnite experience, keeping it fresh, is always good. You know, that fan base isn't going to be that strong forever, but I think I saw somewhere like 20 million or maybe 50 million active users on Fortnite at the moment, or something crazy like that. Just
Well,
ridiculous.
it's kind of making hay whilst the sun shines, isn't it?
That's the thing. Like, you know, you're saying like they'll give 88% to the developer with the revenue. That's, I mean, I'd love to know how much money, how much revenue they make from the in-game purchases, and how all that is just obviously cosmetic things. But it just seems it's ridiculous how much people spend to customize their characters and loadouts and things like that. It's crazy. And maybe 12% they can justify doing that because they're making a shit ton of money from other avenues. I mean,
Exactly.
they've got Fortnite clothing in Primark now, for God's sake. So
I can't believe how much like Primark is one thing, but even like supermarkets, it's like
everywhere.
This is our Fortnite section where you can buy books, where you can buy Funko Pops of different characters. Like, it's. I know it's big, and I know I played a lot in the summer. I haven't played so much recently, and it was big when I was playing in the summer, and it just feels like stratospheric now.
I know, and you think all the dance moves as well made popular by celebrities. There's that footballer who plays for Atletico Madrid in Spain. He does the dance where you put the L on your forehead and kicks left to right when he scores. That's obviously made popular as well. It's just bizarre. I don't want to. It's like that meme, isn't it, with Skinner from The Simpsons, where he's like, "Am I out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong." I just feel like that a little bit with Fortnite, where it's like, it's all right game. I just don't get the obsession with it. It's fun. It's fine.
As a 26-year-old, this feels like the first thing that's come out like that is so stratospherically big that I have such a limited understanding of, because it's I was across like Pokemon and Minecraft and now it's like, oh yeah, I'm an adult now, and this is like, obviously it's big amongst adults, but it's so big amongst teenagers and children.
Leave the Fortnite to the kids and leave the Pokemon to us.
Speaking of Pokemon,
oh great! Can I just say the Game Awards is going to air 1:30 in the morning in the UK on Friday.
Thank you for checking. Speaking of Pokemon, coming soon to Pokemon Go. This was announced earlier this week.
I'm so excited for this. This is great news, in my opinion.
Can't wait. Here finally comes, after 2 years of waiting, Pokemon Go trainer battles.
Finally!
And they've done a very in-depth blog of how this is going to work. There's also loads of videos out there as well on YouTube you can watch. We'll link to the vlog, to the blog on our website, handheld.wordpress.com. You can challenge nearby trainers using a battle code, or you can challenge your friends from far away as well. Battles will be done 3 versus 3. There are CP limits, or you can have no limit if you want. And they're adding extra moves, which you can unlock for a single purchase using Stardust or Candy. And you can unlock a extra charge attack for your Pokemon. And there's also a shield mechanic as well. And watching videos, it looks like shield mechanics is the way that these games will sway, because you can be really far behind, but if you block a real big charge attack with your shield, it makes a real big difference to your HP. It's still tapping. It's not quite the strategic game that some people would want, but it looks really fun. And you can also train against the gym leaders, and there are bonuses that you get as well. So this is going to be the new way to get Sinnoh Stones after they've left research tasks. Colin, we need to get to Ultra Friend level because this looks really good.
This looks epic, and it does look like they've actually put a lot of thought into it, reading between the lines here. So I know when the Pokemon Go was first announced, or when we had the first trailers for it a couple of years ago, I swear this was in those initial trailers having these trainer battles. Yeah. So this must be the last thing that was promised at launch. That's actually now in the game, because everything else has very slowly crept in. So I'm very happy, very excited about this, and yeah, just looking at being able to choose your league and things like that, it's just really cool. I mean, we're almost at Ultra level anyway.
Yeah, we're pretty close, aren't we?
I mean, it's good that you can also battle the gym. Are they called gym leaders that they're calling them? Yeah. Those 3 people. Yeah, that's cool as well. So you can train up, which is handy. I mean, I don't know if it specifies in the press release on the Pokemon Go website whether is it going to be like trading where you have to be near the person to trade, or can you play?
So you can play locally with anyone, and then you can play far away with best friends and ultra friends.
Oh, right. I missed you saying that bit. That makes sense, and that's good. So you just have to make sure, and it's live battles. It's not like,
yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, it's not like they choose, like you have your Pokemon which you send out to battle, and then they do the battle for you. That's good. That's good. I like that. You just need a good Wi-Fi internet connection then to make sure that works fine. But I'm keen. They haven't said when this is coming out yet, have they? They're saying soon.
No, they're saying soon. I mean, who knows? It could be next week. It could be next month. You know what this team are like.
Yeah, they'll just drop things randomly, like that adventure thing. They never said when that was coming out, and it just dropped one day. They just released it. So hopefully it'll be like that, and we'll get it before the end of the year. But I imagine this will probably come January. I reckon. I think it'll be a few weeks yet. But this is really good. I'm dead keen for this. Very, very, very excited indeed.
Well, when it comes out, we will have a live battle on Heroes of Handheld.
Oh boy!
I guarantee that for now.
Go on stream. We'll do not stream. What we're talking about? Twitch. We'll do a Twitch stream.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. So, Colin.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go. Blah blah blah.
Can I quickly mention something about the Game Awards again, please?
Yes, as long as it's about a certain Bandicoot.
Yes, it is. Well, as Chris informed me recently, and as I've learned now, is that the Game Awards seems to be a place where people like to announce games and show trailers and things like that, which is all very exciting. So there's one game that people have wanted the remaster of ever since the Insane Trilogy was announced for Crash Bandicoot a couple of years ago. And ever since the Spyro trilogy, which came out a couple of weeks ago, one game missing from that roster and that sort of genre of gaming was the racing one, Crash Team Racing, which was a ridiculously popular racer back in the early, or must be late 90s, I think it was 99 it came out, or 98 on the PS1. One of the best racing games ever created, better than Mario Kart. A lot of people would say. I was obsessed with Crash Team Racing, played it religiously, so much so that the disc was so scratched and so bad. Like it was pretty 1 time out of 10 it would actually work. I'd have to, it'd always freeze on the bit. You get the opening screen where you got Crash holding the trophy and you click start, and then you see the loading screen, and it'd always freeze on the second bit of the loading screen. So I always had to get the disc out and like breathe on it and rub it. Come on, bloody work. But when it did work, it was a lot of fun. But people want a remaster of Crash Team Racing. It makes perfect sense because people love that game. It's got a lot of nostalgic value for a lot of people. And I think even getting younger gamers who've never played it before would really appreciate it because of Mario Kart being as popular as it is still. So it would open up to a whole new audience. But potentially, there's rumors going all around the internet and people are losing their shit that potentially we will get an announcement of the Crash Team Racing remaster at the Game Awards on Friday. And the reason why people think this is because a tweet appeared from the PlayStation Access presenter Holly Bennett. She teased a photo, and on this photo, which is, I'm just looking at the photo now. That's cool. She put a picture of crash-colored furry dice, so the sort of dice you get in the car, like you see in stereotypical American films. There's these 2 big red furry dice, and the comment on it, there's a note attached to it that says sliding into the Game Awards on the 6th of December from Anonymous. And the tweet on the comment for this photo, she's put, so these just arrived at my house, any ideas? So people are taking that to mean a Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, I've seen these dice being sent out to lots of different influencers as well, and lots of people posting about it. I feel like it. I mean, now it's kind of annoying in a way because it's like I don't know if they thought they were being mysterious or not. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, well, if they're sending orange fluffy dice out, probably a Crash Team Rate. Like, I just think it's a bit of a shame because it would have been so much more hype to have announced it at the Game Awards with no one knowing it was coming.
Well, it happened
but now,
with Spyro, didn't it? It happened with Spyro. They released those purple eggs.
Or, the eggs. But what annoys me about this is that, I mean, it's fine if that's what their marketing team want to do, but it's like now either Crash Team Racing gets announced, everyone knows it's coming, or something else with orange fluffy dice gets announced, and it's like, well, what is this like? And maybe they'll surprise you. Maybe it's like a sequel or something more interesting. Like
you can't really do a sequel. You can't really do a sequel to a racing game, though. It would just be the same characters with different maps.
Yeah, with new tracks and more characters, and
so it'd just be a remaster. Then it wouldn't be a sequel. It'd just be they just call it Crash Team Racing Extreme or something like they did. Which version of Mario?
Sorry, Colin.
Right.
Do you own a Microsoft Xbox?
I do, yes.
And have you ever heard of the game Forza?
Forza, I've heard of it, yes.
And would that be, i.e., the 7th sequel, or could that be Forza Horizon 4. You can 100%.
But it's different. But isn't those Forza games? I've never played them, but don't they have a story element to them?
Well,
Like it's not just
sorry,
different.
what about Mario Kart? How can you say you can't have a sequel to a racing game?
But no, with Crash Team Racing, it would be silly to have a sequel all these years later. They might as well just do a remaster and then add like a few new tracks.
Well, I would say if it's got new tracks, it's a sequel.
Well, it's just like the Insane trilogy, isn't it? They had the original games, but they added in 2 new levels. So it'd just be like that. So
I think you could do a sequel, and I think you could include not just Crash characters, but imagine if Spyro is in there as like a guest racer as well.
Funny you say that, but I used to have Crash Team, I think it's called Crash Nitro Kart on my Game Boy Advance SP. And once you completed the game, you could unlock Spyro on that.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so it's happened before. It could happen again.
Do you remember the games for I played it on mobile, but where Crash and Spyro swapped worlds?
Yes, I had that on Game Boy Advance as well. Yeah, they swapped them over. Yeah.
It was like twisted dimensions or something, wasn't it?
It was weird though, because they're pretty much the exact same game. There wasn't really much difference between them.
Yeah, it was platformer.
But now I'm excited about this. I've been waiting for this, and hopefully we'll get a Switch release straight away, and we won't have to wait like we did with the Insane trilogy. I'll be right up for that. So hopefully that'll be announced. I mean, it looks like all signs are pointing towards that. I mean, because the Insane trilogy was so popular, it only seemed like a matter of time before Activision would work on this. But yeah, very excited. And hopefully by next week, we'll be able to discuss it and have videos and clips and like just excitement. I can't wait.
Isn't it so weird to think that like this time next week, we'll be able to talk about everything that won and got announced at the Game Awards?
I know. Why couldn't it just be next week? Oh, so exciting.
I want to talk to you about Nintendo.
Why? Boring. You're boring, everyone. Boring.
It's actually really interesting. So shut up. So Nintendo have decided to end the Nintendo Creators Program.
Yeah.
So the Nintendo Creators Program, if you didn't know it, was this thing where you signed up and basically when you streamed Nintendo games and made money off them on YouTube, you had to pay a certain percentage to Nintendo. So it was them being like, hey, if you want to use Nintendo stuff in your videos, fine, but we want to take 10% profit or however much they took a cut. Anyway, Nintendo have decided to axe this, and now they will no longer ask creators to submit videos to the NCP, and instead there are new guidelines to be published. It's going to come to close at the end of December, and the NCP website will come to close in March 20th, 2019. So there's loads of new terms and conditions here. Kind of interestingly, one of the things is that the games that you publish, if you want to publish streams and gameplay footage of Nintendo stuff, the games already have to be out, which is very, very much hinting towards the Smash leaks that we talked about last week, when it was like the games that had leaked and people would put on their channel. This is Nintendo really buckling down on like, hey, if you want to play Mario Kart in your stream, that's fine, but don't you dare leak stuff because we will just strike it down.
We'll crush you like a bug. How long until Smash Bros, Chris?
2 days. 2 days. And to be honest, I really think that's why they've changed it, because they know people are going to want to stream Smash Bros. I mean, I'm going to stream Smash Bros. I don't know how. I don't know how to Switch, but I will work it out.
Brilliant. So Smash Bros seems like the game that the kids all want this Christmas.
I could just turn on YouTube Live and point my camera at the TV.
You should surely, with YouTube now on Switch, you should be able to stream that. You think they'd link it, or Twitch? Maybe not with Twitch. Have you tried the YouTube app on the Switch yet?
Not yet. Have you?
Yeah, it's actually really good. It's really good quality and it's really easy to use. I mean, it's just the YouTube app, but it's actually really nice having videos on Switch. It actually felt a bit strange because you don't have any other apps that can do it yet. So being able to actually watch just random videos on YouTube on my Switch was actually pretty nice. Good times. So yeah, all very exciting. Good. The
other bit of Nintendo news, just cut you in.
Thanks.
Is that Nintendo Switch Online have announced their December releases for the streaming service, which are going to be Ninja Gaiden, Warriors Woods, and Adventures of Lolo, which you can watch a trailer for on Heroes of Handheld. I got the Nintendo streaming service finally. I've given some of the NES games a play. It's good fun. It's they are old games, but the online was surprisingly easy to set up. and I'm looking forward to using it for Smash.
Lovely.
Back to you.
I just want to quickly end on the news. I mean, I wasn't here last week to talk about this, but the PlayStation Classic, which came out to, unfortunately, I think as me and Chris sort of predicted, lukewarm responses, and the reviews weren't great. I mean, the positives were it looked great. The little console was very nostalgic. Negative things is that the games on there weren't great. They weren't the best selection of games. But this article's come out, and this comes from a post on GitHub, which sounds a bit rude. It's all about codes and things like that, where people have got into the nooks and cranny of the PlayStation Classic, and they found the code which potentially leaks games that initially were planned to be released as part of the PlayStation Classic lineup. And there's a huge list here of games. There's a little bit of code. It seems like it was initially they started the coding process, but for one reason or another, the games weren't chosen for the final list of games, and that's probably due to licensing reasons and things like that. So the list of games that didn't make it in the final cut of the PlayStation Classic were, and this is quite a long list here, Chocobo's Mysterious Dungeon, Colin McRae's Rally, Crash Bandicoot 2, Toy Story 2, Driver, Fighting Force, Gran Turismo, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Cooler World. I'm missing some of these out. I'm just going for the bigger ones. Medal of Honor, Paka Passion, Raystorm, Parasite Eve, Spec Ops Stealth Patrol, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Tomb Raider 2, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Wild Arms 2. So that's a few games that could have been on there. And if a load of those games were included on the PlayStation Classics lineup, then I think it would have got a much better reviews. But it's not a surprise that a lot of these games didn't make it, because I'm imagining there's probably a lot of licensing issues, especially with the likes of Crash Bandicoot 1 and 2, Activision. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, that's an obvious one, Warner Brothers and whatever. That's such a massive name. Tomb Raider 1 and 2, I mean, they're still making Tomb Raider games, aren't they, for all the consoles, so that might have hindered them there. But it's a shame, because there's a lot of big games here, and I'm not going to lie, when the roster was announced, I was surprised that Crash Bandicoot and Tomb Raider weren't included on there, because obviously they're massive titles. They were huge titles for the PlayStation. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone seems like a bit of a strange one. I mean, was that really that big? I remember playing it, but it was just like your typical.
Yeah, I remember everyone had that game, but I think it's just because obviously
it was Harry Potter.
Yeah,
that's
and
why, yeah.
A lot of people got a PS1 for Christmas, and then that same year Harry Potter was out or whatever.
Yeah, I just remember like how he used to say the spells was quite funny, like Rependo, Expelliarmus.
Yeah, I remember Quidditch was really fucking hard. Sorry to swear. It was really difficult.
Yeah, it was quite challenging. It wasn't an easy game. So that's the games we could have had, but yeah, a bit disappointing the games we were left with. I mean, it looks nice, but for £90, there's probably better things you can buy, like Smash Bros.
Can't wait. Colin.
Yeah.
Very quickly,
Mm-hmm.
Firewatch has a release date on Nintendo Switch and will be coming out on December 17th. So that's 12 days away in America, Europe, Australia, and Japan eShop. So watch this space. Looking forward to playing that on Switch. But we didn't do something at the top of the show that we need to do.
What's that?
I want to know what you've been playing.
Not much. Pokemon Go, basically. That's the main game I've been playing. Still not turned on my Switch in ages, which is quite sad. And I've been playing Ball Blast 99, or not 99, just Ball Blast on my phone. It's so fun. Chris, have you played it yet?
No, I meant to, and then I couldn't be bothered.
It's so fun. It's so addictive. I'm playing it right now. Oh, this is crazy. So what have you been playing? You've probably been playing more exciting things than I have.
I have, actually. Yes, I have been playing more exciting things than you. I started playing Diablo 3 on Switch. One of our very kind listeners, Nyla, sent me something in game, and I can't work out how to access it, and I think it's because I'm playing seasonal mode, whatever that means. So, Nyla, I will open your item eventually. But it's a really good game. Like, it's a really good port. It's very satisfying. It's very, at the moment, low focus. Like, you can just turn on and like grind through dungeons, killing stuff. There's no need to pay too much attention. But I imagine later on in the game, when you have lots of skills and stuff to manage and equipment, it'll be a bit more focused. So I'm enjoying that. And I've also been dipping back into Splatoon because I wanted to try out the new Salmon Run map, because I love Salmon Run. We've talked about that on the show before. I love Salmon Run on Splatoon 2. New map is really cool. I think the design of it is really good. I think it's much more interesting design than some of the older ones. And I especially like the freedom of movement you have with the different pipe system. And man, Splatoon 2, I love that you come back to that game after months and months, and there's so much new shit, but also it just feels so good and so familiar, you know? It's so wholesome. I love it. I love that game so much.
Who won out of what was it, Salsa and Guacamole?
I'm not sure actually, because in the UK we had a different poll, and it was what was it? I'm gonna look it up. It was something really shit. What was it? We've got one coming up in January, which is during Christmas. Would you rather spend time with your friends or family?
That's cute.
What was the most recent Splatfest? Let me have a look. November UK Splat. Whilst I'm looking it up, Colin, why don't you tell people how they? Oh, it was why don't you tell people about how they can get in touch with the show?
There's so many ways. You can go to heroesofhandheld.wordpress.com and click the contact us button and fill out the form. You can tweet us at Handheld Podcast. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on all over the social medias, or you can email us heroesofhandheld@gmail.com, all over the interwebs. We do like to tweet all week, and we're very responsive on Twitter, so why not tweet at Handheld Podcast? And we'd love to speak to you. That's how they get in contact.
The most recent Splatfest was when you have a nice bit of dinner, do you eat it gradually through the meal or save it all till the end?
What the fuck? That makes no sense.
Yeah, I know. No, nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
There you go. Whoa, that's craziness right there. Craziness, I tell you.
Colin?
Yeah?
Make me a radical prediction for the Game Awards.
Crash Team Racing will be released on Friday at 9 a.m.
Friday? Okay.
9 a.m. No messing. They're like, we're bringing out Crash Team Racing, and it's available now. And you can buy it everywhere. So and it's even free for everyone because we love all our gamer friends. It's free.
Very, very radical.
Yeah, it won't happen though. I'm just all hyped for Crash Team Racing, but you'll probably you won't even get to see the news because you'll be balls deep in Smash Bros.
I know. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. 48 hours.
Have you taken the day off work to play it?
There's only 48 hours. It's just over 24 hours because it comes out on Thursday night. It comes out Thursday midnight. I have taken Friday off. Oh, can't wait.
Frothy. I want to see these. If you do a stream, figure out how to do it. And I want to watch it. I will. I will. If I do stream, maybe I'll Periscope it from Heroes of Handheld Twitch. Periscope? Who? God,
I'll have
2015. Jeez.
Yeah, sorry, Mom. Can you do YouTube live from a phone?
Huh?
I wonder if you can do YouTube live from a phone.
Yeah, you can. Do that. And then it'll just be like you're
oh my god.
What?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Already?
No, but that's what I can do.
That is magical.
Yeah, okay.
Amazing. I'll do that. I look forward to you talking about that next week. I think next week will probably be a bumper edition with all the news and all your talk of Smash Bros. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Can't wait. Okay, Colin, have a lovely week.
You too. Have a great week, young man. And I will speak to you next week. Same place. Thank you for listening, everybody. Back soon. Goodbye.
Good night.